Today, I'll be looking at the greenhouse effect specifically. The greenhouse effect is when heat from the sun gets trapped inside the earth. The heat is trapped by greenhouse gases. What are they, you may ask? Well, greenhouse gases are gases that trap heat inside of Earth like a blanket. They will keep heat inside of the atmosphere from the sun. If greenhouse gases occur naturally, why are they so bad for Earth? The thing about greenhouse gases is that you need to have some, it's necessary. It's because without any greenhouse gases at all, the Earth would be too cold. Think of it like a blanket. The thinner the blanket, the less heat is kept in. However, having too many greenhouse gases, that's bad. Going back to the blanket, if you're under a thin layered blanket, you feel a bit cold, but when you're under a thick one, you're gonna start to overheat. Partially because it lets less heat out of the atmosphere. The temperatures are going higher and higher every year unless we do something. Why the sudden increase of greenhouse gases? Greenhouse gases are mostly made by people. That's why burning forests, fossil fuels, breeding animals, dumping garbage, and even breathing can all be bad. The reason burning forests is bad is because it's releasing a bunch of carbon dioxide into the atmosphere, which happens to be a greenhouse gas. Without these trees from the burnt forest, breathing is also creating carbon dioxide, which isn't being absorbed as much and not converted into oxygen. Burning fossil fuels have the same problem as burning trees, and breeding animals will, burning trees and breeding animals will produce a lot of methane, which is another layer to our blanket. With all this information, you might be overwhelmed. What can you change in your everyday life? What do you do to reduce your carbon footprint? You gotta do some things that you wouldn't think about normally, like turning off lights when you leave a room, recycling plastics such as water bottles, and turning off water faucets when you're not using them. These everyday things may seem small, but if everyone worked together and did these things, we might change the course of history.